Hi, I'm Kyle.
I'm Josh.
This is Two Guys, One Car.
Welcome to our car.
Dude, it starts with Two Guys, One Car. That's the name. It should start
It's
with
welcome
the
to our car.
name. No, but it has to start with Two Guys, One Car because that's the name of the thing.
Just get in the back seat.
Ride along with us.
So good we got a sunrise.
Yeah.
Would have done it anyway, but like,
Yeah. No, it's nice.
it was like,
I probably wouldn't have. Like, I wouldn't have gotten up for it. Like, if we organised a sunrise, but had this not have been the thing, there's no way I would have just come here.
Oh, right. I thought you meant for the pod. Like, if it wasn't a sunrise,
Yeah,
you just weren't doing this pod. That's what I thought you meant by that.
we're off. No.
Right, we're going to kick off today's app.
Oh, wait. Let's clap.
Already did it. 2 steps ahead of you, buddy.
Oh. We're not keeping that in.
Kicking off today's app. So we got actually Finn, recurring guest, and Kyle is actually a guest on today's pod as well. Last week, you boys ran the Sydney Blackmores Marathon.
The what?
So that's second mara for you boys under the belt in a year as well.
Good point.
First thing I want to
5 months, but yeah.
So, so it's actually been a week and I have not known any results. I was very intent with, I didn't want to know your times or anything because I wanted to find out raw in the pod. Pretty much first thing I want to say is, I think it was 2 months or 3 months ago, we were sat in my room, you told me you had a goal of running a sub 350 mara.
Mm-hmm.
I looked you in the eyes and said, I don't think you're going to do it. I said, I know you're capable of doing it, but your training up until this point hasn't reflected a sub 350.
Yeah.
I've told people this and I said, I want to be wrong. I want to come in here and be wrong. But yeah, what's the outcome?
So who do you want first? Me?
Yeah, I want you first. I've been dying all week to know.
Ready? 3:45.
No way!
Kidding, no.
Dude, I was so happy.
No. My official time was 4:47.
Whoa!
Yeah. Official time 4:47.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Substantially way off.
substantially way off.
Yeah.
Finnegan?
I forget what your time was actually.
4:13.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Do you want to know Jimbo's as well?
Yeah, what did James do?
Wait, I don't know. Remember the official
Can't
time?
remember official.
Oh, we're gonna just shoot because it doesn't matter what the official time was. Like 3:41.
Yeah.
Dude, absolutely dominated.
Wow. That's big.
So do you have like a line of questioning you're gonna ask us, or do you want us to just go?
No, I thought about a couple things.
Okay.
I just want to highlight for James, how long has he been running for?
Less than us.
Way less. And like, firstly, like James has run for like barely any amount of time. Firstly, this is his first marathon. So James is going to be on here, but he obviously has some stuff that he's attending to, so he couldn't. But it's his first marathon that he's ever run. His first distance event that he's ever done. He'd only run more than 25 Ks the week before.
Wow.
No, he did the half marathon.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying more.
Oh, you mean more?
Yeah, no, more than that. Like more than, because that's the thing. That's still way off a full mara.
True.
Yeah, so like he'd never run more than
25.
Wait, actually, before he even before the last like 6 weeks, he'd never run more than 21 Ks.
Wow.
Yeah, ran
And then-
30 the week before,
With Futch at like...
And then ran 3:41.
and then took off during the Blackmores Marathon.
That is amazing.
I know. What a monster,
Keen to see what he can conquer with like a set training routine
Yeah.
and time in the sport.
dude! It's insane.
I would argue you ran more than him in the lead up to this one as well.
Yeah, way more.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Like tenfold more than he did. He didn't even run. He barely.
Which
ran.
is just like,
That's wild.
he's gifted.
Okay, so based off like those answers, I was either going to go route A or route B, but we're down route B at the moment. What I don't want to say what went wrong, but yeah, like what went wrong because you had a goal and you didn't obtain that. And it's not taking away from the fact you guys ran a marathon. That is so impressive, but like I could tell you both wanted that goal. So
Yes.
what happened?
Yeah, like it
where does
was
the blame lie?
really shit that I didn't hit that goal. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I wouldn't really call it blame unless it's like pointed at me. You know
That's what
I
I'm
mean?
saying.
Yeah, you can't. Like,
That's what I wanted. I was
Yeah.
waiting for any excuse from any
Yeah.
of you, and I'm like, no.
Nah, yeah, because like, yeah, it's, and like you said, it's kind of like, yes, it's a good feat that we did it, and when you do it, you're happy, But my initial reaction when I was done was not happy.
Which sucks.
Which is shit.
Yeah,
and that was, but that's just the
But I
That's
almost
just true.
I like that because you're not going to allow that feeling to happen again. I think after experiencing that,
No.
that's never happening again.
Yeah.
no way.
For sure.
Yeah, it was, it sucked. But, and like the first person I saw was Siege because they had done and they were going through like the run. You had to go like to this section once you were done. And yeah, I just saw Siege and I was like, fucking just pissed. I was just pissed. And I'm never really like pissed. I was just pissed.
You said the same thing to me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Because it was Siege and then it was me and you were just like, oh, dude, like, oh, I just can't. I'm just,
Yeah,
you know, it's like, whoa.
Fucking pissed off. Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, even though, yes, we did like do a big thing and like we're pushing the boundaries, whatever, but we did set out, well, speaking for myself, like I set out to do it in a certain amount of time. And like what's the most frustrating part is it's not like an unrealistic goal. That's the worst part. It's a very realistic goal. So it's like, it's so much time before it that I've let myself down in, not like, you know, I didn't not do one thing. I didn't do one thing multiple times.
You didn't be good consistently.
Correct. I was trying to be occasionally great rather than consistently good, and it backfired. It failed. So dealing with that initially, I guess. I don't even know what your original question just was.
It was like, where does the blame lie? What went wrong?
Yeah, like obviously in the prep, I would say for me, I would say probably prep in terms of just like, I don't even know the course when before we ran.
Oh,
Like,
no.
that's just so naive. Like I should have known the course. Like I should have known like there wasn't much elevation, but like
I should have known. Yeah.
Because had there have been, you wouldn't have known.
Yes, exactly.
Until you're face to face with a
correct.
massive
And
hill.
there was hills though. So you know what I mean? We were like, I know Futch was too, but I was running like relatively flat runs just based off convenience.
Yep.
Like, and just not thinking about hills. It wasn't even laziness. I just wasn't thinking about it. And like facing that, and then like it was a hot day. So like, I just wasn't really thinking about like in terms of prep, in terms of like short-term prep too, like the day before or like for the day, like I just wasn't thinking about it. Like I had freaking Powerade in my pack. It was so hot. My mouth was so dry. I'm like, I'm not drinking Powerade. Like it just feel like shit. You know what I mean? Like just dumb stuff like that. You're just not thinking about it. And like, not like that makes the massive difference, but just that's kind of a microcosm.
It does, because those little things that if you know you don't feel like Powerade or whatever, it's like that can be enough to just tip you over the edge to be like, fuck it.
Correct.
Like
And it's more about like the fact that you didn't prep rather than the fact that you have the Powerade. It's like I didn't have the water and think about that. You know, that's more it for me. Like, it just prep is the main like overarching word, and I think that refers to a lot of things. I've seen Pat since, and I was kind of breaking it down with him. Like I was like, I feel like the way I see running at the moment right now, and I really want to change this, at the moment it's like a mental thing, and I love it for that. Like it's real mental grind. It like keeps me like in check, keeps me accountable. Like it puts me down when I need to be put down. It humbles me. So that's what I use it for. But I don't actually like think about like my form or my performance. I'm not even really thinking about that. It's just more like my strategy was just like run a lot, run big distances. So then you're mentally ready for.
you're just baking cookies,
Yeah.
like literally.
That's it. Yeah. And that was my mentality going
In
in.
the file. I like
Yeah.
that analogy.
That was which is great. But it's like, if you're going to start doing things and try to get certain times, you actually need to start considering.
And mimic those that have come before you. Look at any professional marathon runner. If you ask them, oh, what's your strategy when you go for running? Is it just like doing something really hard? No, of course not. They have like, they're intelligent. They have strict like training routines. They go out and hit the numbers they need to hit. And that's why on race day, they can get it done. There's a line, I don't know, I heard Rich Roll say it, but it's workout heroes, race day zero. And it's that kind of mentality, the baking cookies mentality is workout hero. It's just clocking on, getting it done. Like, don't feel like doing it, but I'm going to go out and do it. And like that equates to race day zero, which not that you guys were race day zero, but in terms of your goals, you were race day zero. Yeah. So what about for you, Finn? Because your time from your first marathon, that was improved. Yes. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was about the same.
yeah, about the same, which is interesting.
It is interesting, and I didn't think about that until I pulled the Strava at the end. I was like, I felt way better the whole run. Like, granted, I gassed out maybe 32 kilometers, so about 10 kilometers from the end. The last 10 was really tough. Tough last time too, tougher last time, I think.
Really?
But
Do you think because it was new and this time it was familiar, or do you think you were just actually better physically?
I think definitely physically prepared because the Newcastle marathon training program was baking cookies. It was shift work, which is like, no excuse. Shift work and
It was like,
Oh no, hold on. You're underselling that. You did overnights the night before.
Yeah,
the marathon,
yeah, whatever.
You were working PM to AM.
But and then this is also me being like, I'm brushing that off. It's the baking cookies. It's like, get her done, like which is fucking awesome. That's an awesome foundation to have.
But it can't be the only.
It can't be like you have to be like, I've underperformed. You have to be real at the end of the day. It's like I didn't get what I wanted, which is just like something you take into the next one. But yeah, I think I broke it down. It was about the same. And the last marathon, like I had to stop to drop a load because it was like, oh my God. But this time I got lucky in terms of like bowel movements as well, which adds to your time. James and I were keeping pace till about half marathon. It's about 21.
So that's where the split was.
That's what the split was. So there's literally half a marathon's difference in like when we start to gas out, which is like huge.
Which goes back to the preparation and performance thing, because that was the same for me. Is like I held that to about like the 9th K, and then had to start incrementally slowing down. Like I was right behind them, and then there was a point where they were like 2K ahead of me because there was a loop, and I could see. And then this was at like the 17th K, so it was like slowly getting slower.
How does that feel? Because at that point, I'm sure you're aware that you're not hitting your time. So how does that feel when you're on their heels and then all of a sudden they're 2Ks ahead of you?
Well, I knew I was very optimistic all the way up to maybe like the 26th, 27th K. Like I was going well. So this is where preparation comes into it. And this is the short-term prep. Is like I shot twice on that run. And like that is just so much time. That is so much time. And like when you're running, like a shit isn't a normal shit. Like it's right there, and then when you go to shit, it's not there. So you just like you're grinding in the dunny to get it out. And that is just like that's added time to your run. And that you have to count that in your time. Like that counts as your final time and I heard so many, I don't know if you heard this along the way, so many people were justifying their time.
No
by
way.
their shit.
They were like, oh, we stopped. So like, it's like, I'm not kidding, like at least 4 times.
That's wild.
Yeah. And I was just like, damn, you've got to count that.
You almost just need to not tell anyone that you took a dump. Like,
I ran this.
Yeah.
Because you did.
Because you
Start to finish.
Start to finish, that's how long it took. Whatever events that occurred in between, that's kind of on you.
What I'm saying is like, I need to better prepare so I don't shit on it.
Yeah.
You know what
You're
I mean?
being very like, you're just accepting the fact that you had this
Yes.
shit.
Yeah, it's cool to see you both take ownership. I honestly wasn't sure how it was going to go coming in here because I thought there might have been a couple of excuses here and there, but
Hey.
I was going to say, I think what helped as well is like, aside from time, like the grind, the event was like amazing. The day was like, sort of like this, like not a cloud in the sky, blue, like warm. You're running in the middle of the like Sydney Harbour Bridge, in the road's closed, just like, and then you look back, and there's just a rat run of people behind you. There's like thousands of people running.
which never happens.
No.
Once a year. That's so cool
It was
to
awesome.
be.
It was awesome to be a part of.
It was like living. I just like biggest smile on my face before I was like absolutely in the poo at like the 30th kilometer.
So do you think with that mentality and that kind of outlook on it, do you think there's value in taking the approach where you just run for fun and don't anchor yourself or your happiness to a time and a pace? Because for you to just run in the moment and experience the atmosphere and everything that the day has to offer, you arguably could have had a much better day versus the outcome of what you guys had. Like where does your mind lie with that? Because there's value in both.
Ooh, I don't know.
I would say like, I feel like oh, I just had it in my head, but I feel like I was soaking up the day as well as, I feel like I found a real good sweet spot of like, understanding I underperformed, but then also being like, well, I can't just live in that, because it's like, you know how many people would kill to be here and like do this? There's people out there who are like, I can't run a marathon, but I'd love to be there and cross that finish line, but they just never do it. And the fact that I've like put myself here, I need to like appreciate that. And we finished at the Harbour Bridge, so it's just like all these crowds and you see all these families like like
Just smiles everywhere.
embracing like their kids to their like remember the Newcastle one, like when we finished and I sat down next to this guy and the kids were like, Dad, and I was just bawling my eyes out. Like that was so nice. And there was so much of that across the whole day, which was just amazing to see.
And strangers as well, because like there was like pubs, restaurants and stuff all across the course. So people just sitting down like cheering you on. It was like, yeah, the Futch.
Yeah, because
I'm like,
we have photos. We can attach a photo now at this point. But there's photos of us like obviously before and after, and like our bibs have like nicknames. So mine's got Kep on it. His is the Futch. But dude, you spell Futch wrong. You need to do it without the H.
well, like I thought that was how.
Futch.
Yeah,
Wait, Futch.
No, he did FHUTCH. No.
What?
'cause it's like your like first name initial and then the start of your last name.
Yeah.
But it looks like Futch. Yeah, like
Futch.
yeah, Futch. So everyone was like the Futch, dude.
The guy who was like, "Go, Kemp!"
There was this guy who's
in your face.
No, he said go on, Kev. He just goes, this is gonna distort the mic, but he was like, he literally like this was near the end of the race, and I was like right on like the side. Like the side, some random guy. Like he didn't even have like people in the race. He was just there living it. And he's like right here. He's like, go on, cat! So loud in my face. I was like, holy shit! Like what the? Oh, just keep going. Yeah. So there was so much. The energy was so high, and like so many people accomplishing things. Like, dude, before I even started the race, I was talking to this. Like, I was lining up to actually pee. I was going to say shit, ironically, but to pee. And like, there was this lady and her son in front of me. And the lady was like, probably like maybe in her 40s. Her son was like 9. And they were lining up for the 10K, just the bridge run. And they're like her partner, not the kid's dad, but her partner was doing the 21K. But this kid like runs 10Ks for fun. Like he's 9 and he pumps. He's like saying to the mum, like, let's go, like all the time.
That's so awesome.
Like he's a little savage. I'm just like, this is sick. Like you're just like, I love that people are out here doing this.
And that's where, as well, that mindset, like I'm sure that kid isn't focused on the time. He was just so psyched to go out and run. There's so much value in just enjoying what you're doing. But 100%. There is also value in having a goal, working towards that, doing the prep and like seeing that pay off.
Definitely. It's hard to, it should be almost to the point where you've done enough prep perfectly that you can actually just enjoy the day and still achieve your time.
Have confidence in yourself.
Know that it's not going to be like the biggest grind in the pits of hell. Like you're actually just going to achieve it.
Yeah, it would take some time to get to that point because when you're in work mode and you're grinding with the training and that, on game day, you're like, I need to hit this time because I've put in all this work. I feel like it'd be hard to like, you'd have to be a beast and know your body so well to be like, I can coast and enjoy this and I'll still hit my time.
And funnily enough, that means it's a marathon, not a sprint. So it's just time. Like I think putting in more time, clocking more events, doing more things and learning as we go. Like there's, I'm sure it's weird actually now doing 2 because I feel like now now I'm getting to the point where, you do something a lot and then you start to learn. Like it feels weird. It feels like, oh, this is a thing I do now. Yeah. It really feels like it's a thing I do and I'm going to learn from them each time, which is really interesting. But
like to hold both yourselves accountable, what does next time look like? What does the prep look like? What changes for you both?
You want to go first, me? I think this is just rough because I haven't really like deeply thought about it, but I think it's a lot more time looking into actually researching, just getting the right thing, like doing a lot more research because I don't do that. I kind of just like someone will tell me something or I'll make my own assumptions and kind of figure it out myself, which is a good attribute to have. But also like once you get to this point where I'm at now, like I know I can run 42 kilometers. It's solidified. So now it's like, okay, now you need to make it quicker. So now it's about, so it's almost like, how do I get quicker? It's like, I don't do more grinds. I don't get out there more. I already have that like under my belt.
And you know what that gets you.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
Short of the line.
Yeah, exactly. And I have that tool under my belt if I need to use it. But it's like, now I need to add more tools to my belt. So it's like diet prep. I need to know how I should be eating week to week, run to run. Like,
You're good at that though.
No.
You're good at the eating.
Oh, you're good at the eating. Damn it, that didn't land.
Dude, no, because I thought you were giving him credit. I was like,
yeah, I was like, no, clearly not. Yeah.
Augustus, no.
And like I need to do that better. Like making sure it's like timing, like things like timing. And yes, it's hard, but it's like, okay, well, if you want to do this, figure it out. Like, there's going to be a way to figure it out.
Also listening to your body, like not ignoring a niggle if your like knee sore, your ankle sore, not being like, oh, put it on the back burner, I'll just get it done. Like, no, your body's clearly telling you there's a pain response here, something's up. I should listen to it and figure out what's wrong.
Because I half did that, like with my foot. I had a really bad right foot. Like I had a really bad pain underneath my right foot, and it was really good on race day. I think because I rested it, but I could have rested it earlier, if that makes sense, and that would have been a bit more beneficial. And it's probably thanks to you that I actually rested it. Otherwise, I probably would have just kept going. But yeah, I would say for me, next time it definitely looks like, I feel like I need to be, on race day, what I want to do is go to race day feeling like I've done, it sounds cliche, but like done the prep, but just like knowing that I've done the right things in prep. And I think, like I can prep longer, but I feel like that's easy. The hardest thing for me will be sitting down and actually just like taking time in terms of like, okay, now I'm running today. Running today may actually just look like sitting on the computer and researching. Like that's really difficult for me. I don't know how to do that. Like I just want to just go out and put the shoes on rather than
it's more like you want to show up race day having confidence in your prep, not the mental prep, because I think both of you probably have that in the back pocket at all times.
Yes.
You have confidence. You can show up race day and be like, whatever gets thrown at me today, I know I can get through it. But there's no confidence in the actual prep, like the groundwork, the running, the technique, like all of these things, the diet, the sleep, all of it. But you want to show up race day knowing all areas are covered, all areas of your life are completely covered. You have that confidence, so you can show up. And it's Matt Fraser, when he was competing, he had this guy come to him, like it was a coach at the time, I think, and he said, like, in the gym is not where you're going to win, like the CrossFit Games. And Matt's like, oh, like I thought that's where I had the edge. Like I thought I just outworked everybody. He's like, no, dude. You're dumb if you think that everybody works as hard as you in the gym, if not harder. Like it's that cancels each other out. The areas you're going to win is like your diet, your sleep, your family life, like your relationships. Everything outside of the gym is where you're going to win the race. And that's when he just committed to like 1 year. He said, I'm going to commit to 1 year where I just do like every decision I make is towards like winning the CrossFit Games. He made those decisions, won, and then just kept it going for 5 years in a row. And I think that same kind of thing, like you guys need to not just be like, oh, I'm running a half marathon Monday, and then you get it done. It's like, no, what's the decision after that? What's the diet? What's going into your body post half marathon? What does that sleep look like? What does this look like? It's all these decisions, and it's a massive commitment because you're basically saying all these decisions I'm making are towards like running a sub 340, sub 350 marathon, whatever the goal is. But again, it's all about commitment, all about consistency.
Yeah. What do you think in terms of
Next time?
Yeah, like what do you want to feel like? Well, if that was your question.
So I think definitely, I feel like I had my sleep and my diet down pat. I was getting 8 hours of sleep a night, probably for like 3 or 4 weeks leading up to it, which was great. In bed by like 8 o'clock, 8:30, wake up 5:30, 6 o'clock, golden. Diet was fine, just like lots of good sustaining carbs, nothing too like processed or like dirty, I suppose. Like animal products, fats, eggs. I think in terms of training, next time it'll be shorter runs more regularly and more sort of functional exercises. Like I've heard a lot of benefits, like the knees over toes guy. I've heard a lot of benefits in the sled because he says he sleds every day, which is just like mind boggling. Cause like,
I couldn't wrap my head around that when I first heard it. I was like, you do it every day? Like,
every day. It's like I couldn't run every day.
Yeah.
But like you can sled every day. Yeah. And not just forwards, but like backwards. Because apparently that's the trick for your knees. And for me, what caught me at 30 kilometers and slowed me down was my lower legs. So my quads, glutes, great. Like carrying me the whole way.
Calves were jacked up.
Yeah. Calves jacked, and like shins. So I'm like thinking maybe implementing
He's training.
Yeah, the sled will definitely help with that, as well as like your Achilles. I could feel those going a bit too, but I think that's definitely the key for next time. More regular runs, more sort of functional exercises in my legs, because during those like 14 weeks or whatever, the only exercise I was doing for my legs was running, which is like Like that makes sense
It makes
Of
sense.
course.
because you're gonna be running.
But again, it's the same. It goes back to like we've ticked one box because we finished the mara, but it's like there's other boxes we could have ticked to do it a 350 mara.
Yeah, and I think 100%. It's like, yeah, the running's great, but it's like if I'd ticked another box, my lower legs wouldn't have given out at 30 kilometers.
Yeah, and it's that idea of we should be able to run that like injury free. We should be able to run that distance and not sit on the couch for a week after.
Yeah.
Like it just makes sense. We're designed to run.
See, that's funny, is because that is something I actually took from this one. Is like I had one day, like the day after, like I had off. I didn't do anything. Well, I was just doing like life admin stuff, like no like set work or anything like that. And the next day, felt fantastic. Like went to work, felt great. So that was the other mara. I was dead for like a week. I was hammered. So this one I felt a lot better. I think that's just from obviously doing. That's the thing that I probably got from doing a lot of longer runs, like half mara plus. I did like at least 8 or 9 in the like weeks running up to leading up to that. So I got something out of that in terms of. But again, I felt that on the run. Like I got to just under 30, and that's when I just started feeling sorry for myself. Like it was at that point. And dude, like actually, I need to tell you this. I broke down. Like I started crying because I was thinking about James. Because obviously the stuff he's sort of dealing with, and like I was thinking about him, and I was like, I let him down. Like I just started feeling sorry for myself. I was like, I let him down. Like he's ahead, probably struggling, trying to get his goal. Like, and he's the most motivated out of all of us because of it. And like I was like, I just let him down, and I just started crying. Like,
Wow.
like look at you. Like, what are you doing? Like he's probably way up there. He's probably struggling. Probably needs a mate. Like I didn't know if Futch was with him or not. So I was like,
All I knew is you weren't there.
yeah. All I knew is I wasn't there.
How did you like pull yourself out of that?
Well, like I don't really think I fully did until maybe like 33, 34 Ks. And I was like, you can more so see the end in sight. And like you can't see the end in sight because you got 8 Ks to go and you're like obviously struggling, but you can, you know what I mean? It's more so than when you were at 25 and just like, and at 25 I wasn't like in pain, but I was just like,
You just seem so far away.
I was just like, I just let him down. And I was like, I just can't catch him at this point. And like assuming he was on pace. And I was like, at that point, I was like going to be under 4K still. And I just like lost it.
Under
like,
4 hours?
Under 4 hours, sorry, at that point. Yeah, so that was the thing too. I think in Futch, he was a bit later, and I was a bit earlier. But I was on track to be under 4 hours, like up until like just before the 30Ks. And then that's when it's just snapped. And that's a result of obviously under prepping, but then like, and in terms of under prepping, the hills, the ups and downs, like running downhill, running uphill.
It's all of it. It's all areas of life.
Like the heat, the everything, like
So-
that all adding up, it all compiled into the last 10K or 12, 13K for me.
Do you both dial it down to during your prep? Was it like I'm just gonna do this half marathon Monday and then a run later in the week, cool? Or was it like wake up, it's Tuesday morning, it's cold, and you're like, I should go for a 6K, but I don't really want to. Like, was it I'm just gonna do this sort of training style?
Yeah.
Or was it like there were actually times where you're like, I should go for a run, but I don't want to. I'm not prioritizing it right now.
Ooh, I would say I'm more the first one. I was like, I'm just doing. It's again, for me, it's lack of research and understanding. I'm just doing a big run here, and then I'll do a shorter run later in the week because I can fit it. So it wasn't my top priority. Like I was thinking about other things, prioritizing other things is what it
Agreed.
ended up being for me. I think. Same for you.
Same for me.
Yeah. Like as in like I know I can clock a run in these points. I'm just gonna do this done. And I was like, felt good because I was getting something done. But again,
And at least we're like pre-manifesting it into
Yeah,
our
yeah,
week, which
yeah.
is great. So then we just need to pre-manifest
More.
yeah. It just needs to be more.
In that though, like in giving more time to that, time to other things has to suffer and drop because there has to be sacrifice to achieve anything great. Sacrifice is required. So like what areas of your life do you think you could sacrifice / will end up sacrificing to achieve a sub, assuming sub 350 is still
Well, because it's the goal that I didn't hit, it needs to be sub 350.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's study and like and things I want to improve on in like my working world. I think things like that will suffer. I tried like morning run, work, get home and like plug into something else. So I've like worked a full day. I'm already like got the physical grind in. I need to switch my brain from work mode to like, what's the word here? To take information in now. And I would struggle to stick to that. Plus you get home, your missus is home. Like you want to just hang out, talk about each other's days.
Because you need to do that too. That's very important. Like you have a relationship to uphold. That's the same for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of time to sacrifice, I'll have to look at that and really break that down and see what that looks like. Especially when we haven't really talked about when we're going to do it the next one.
Yeah, I think I've definitely got my heart set on Newcastle could be on for sure.
Because that's April.
Yeah,
That's like 6 months.
we'll lock it in.
It'd kind of be beautiful to go back to the origins.
First did it.
Ground zero.
Yeah. And come back like exactly a year later and just really show up this time.
That is a good point. Like I don't want to lock it in now because like
Yeah,
logistics, but like I like
It'd be cool to really show up.
because the next, and I really want to hit the sub 350 before we do a trail run.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I know that I have to do that because, well, just linearly, like trail run is so much harder. So it's like I need to be in shape to do the 350 to then probably do the trail run well.
We've got to be even more active.
Sorry, you can have like there's water for you. So
Cheers. It's free.
Oh, you cracked it now. So.
It's funny, like with the trail running, because like we have to be even more forensic in our runs, in our weeks, and like obviously we already know this, and like during the run you got to be more like switched on because you got to watch your footing and all that. But it's like step one is like, where's the trail?
Yeah.
Where's the trail that I'm practicing on?
So many.
there's so many here, but
There's so many, but like where?
yeah. I don't even know where I'm running, let alone how to run. Yeah.
Oh, do some trail running. I haven't even looked like.
Find out where. Yeah.
Like I already know that there's so many.
You know where the road is.
Yeah.
Out the front of your house.
Yeah.
The trails are different, but yeah, I don't know about you, but I definitely feel like I need to do this before I do the trail run.
Agreed. And I think April could definitely be on
Because when's the Blue Mountains 50?
October. So that's
October next year.
that one's definitely on.
Definitely.
Are you
I'm in.
Are you in for the next year?
Yeah.
All that.
keen to break that down?
That'd
Like
be
the
fun.
pre and the post.
Yeah. I had a question though. Oh, so with the trail running, it's interesting. Both your minds automatically go to it's harder, and I'm assuming everyone would.
Yeah.
But when you think, like there were trails before there were roads built. Like man was running in the bush before he was running on the road. So it almost makes sense that the trail is where we should be running,
Yes.
but we're just conditioned to run on the
I was
road.
going to say yes.
But like, we're not saying it's impossible. We're just saying it's harder because we're not used to running on trails. Like I don't run on trails, meaning it's foreign
There's more
to
challenges.
me. Yeah. That's what I mean by it's harder because
Yeah.
it's foreign to me. But running on a road is normal. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna be exciting.
Because that's more than a year away. And it hasn't even, dude, because think about this. Wait, what's the date today?
September 25th,
Is it?
Phoebe Wayne's birthday.
Is it 2 days till when did we run the, when did we
September
do the half
26th. Oh my goodness.
Wait, so
Tomorrow.
it's almost 1 year since we did the half Ironman, and that feels like an eternity ago to me.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
Whoa.
that feels like a different life to me, actually, because my circumstances were so different. But the fact that this 50K trail run is like more than a year away, like it's like a year and a month. And for that, think the Newcastle Marathon, that's like not even 6 months ago.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's sick. And that feels like so long ago. So think of how much we can achieve if we actually get this right.
That's where it
There's
is.
so
I think
much there.
people fall into the trap of, oh, it's a year away. I got time.
No, we have.
That was what happened with the Newcastle one. It was, hey guys, doing this marathon, add everyone in the group, sounds good. No one turns up on race day.
Yeah.
I think
Because
we gave it too much time on.
Yeah, and we did too. Even though we actually did it, personally, I was like, it's ages away, it's ages away. And to be fair, I actually did learn from that, just didn't learn enough. Like for this one, I prepared because I was like, oh shit, I know how long I need to be out. Didn't achieve that, but got some of it in. So it's like I actually did learn from that first one to a degree. But yeah, dude, I think it's like you can look at it two ways in terms of like it's 13 months, I've got so much time, being like I don't have to start yet, or you can look at it and be like 13 months, like I have so much time to prepare for that.
Again, it's the mindset of what do you want out of it? People look at it as, oh, I have 13 months just to be able to run 50K. Like it doesn't matter what state I cross the line in. It's like, no, think you have 13 months to get in the best shape as possible to cross the line feeling as good as possible. And there is, like, none of us have done trail running or like an ultra event, so we don't know what the aid system looks like and whatnot, but
Well, you boys have done an ultra event.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that isn't actually Blackmore's, that's our UTA 100k badge.
Just forgot it.
Like, I assume the aid stations and stuff are good, but there is still the reality of, like, you're in the middle of the bush, in the middle of nowhere. They can't have eyes on you 24/7, and the fact that it's like a much longer distance event means there's more time, so like more things could go wrong. So in terms of just like to be selfless, you almost have to prepare better, because like there is a real danger element out there, and if you go in not prepared at all, get injured, now somebody else is like, you're depending upon somebody else to come and save you. So it's quite a selfish thing to go into something like that really underprepared and not prepared. So I think as well, that's like a motivating factor to be like, dude, I should be prepared. And also, what if somebody else gets injured and then you're not in a state to be able to help them? Like, you should be able to.
I've heard that somewhere. Someone was talking about that on something I've watched recently, and I was like, that is a fantastic point. It's like, it's on you to be fit enough to carry that person out of there when they get in the shit.
Exactly, because again, it comes back to the point of we're all human beings. Like, if you were to run past somebody that needs your help because you're fixated on time, what kind of a person are you? Like, you should be able to, like, it's more heroic to like pick that person up and carry them out of there than it is to hit your target time.
Dude, that happened to me. I haven't mentioned that. That happened to me. Some guy passed out. You'll hate this. So this guy passed out.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Some guy hit the deck. Like, old guy. Like, well, not old. Like 50 plus.
Yeah.
No, probably 60 plus actually. He was just like, it was like, I can't remember where it was. It was like kind of near Darling Harbour. There was like kind of longish straight. It was a bridge.
How far in?
Like past maybe the 30. And this guy just flat, just like wobble, hits to the side, like falls over. Like 3 or 4 people run past. I'm like, what? And then so I just go up to the guy. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, are you okay? Like, I've got Powerade here. Like, luckily enough, I was like, oh shit, I hope this.
Yeah, please take the Powerade. I don't want it. Take it.
Luckily enough, like, someone actually rode past like 5-6 minutes later, because there was guys on bikes, which is awesome of them. Like, they have got, like, did you see that? Like the medics on the bikes, they would just ride through because they can't be everywhere. So they rode through, because I thought I was in for the long haul. And I was like, that just sucks, because like there's a could have been aspect, and it's like, I hope someone comes in like 5 minutes. So it's like, it just doesn't.
And it's cool as well that wasn't enough time for you to justify anything.
No,
like,
yeah.
But if that
That's
was
what I
like
meant.
a 30, 40 minute period, then you could have been like, oh, like I helped this guy for 40, I was cooled down, like, you know.
Even if I didn't say that, but it's still inevitably, it's still a what if. So you could still think that, you know, but yeah, it was only a short period of time. But he full hit the deck, and like 3 or 4 people just ran past him. But this is at a point where like you're running, like most of the people running past at that point are like, you're running an over 4-hour marathon, which isn't bad, but it's like, you're not going to be the guy who came first in running 2-hour marathon, dude. Like, just stop for the guy. Like, what the hell?
So true.
Yeah, and obviously stopping does suck because you just tighten straight up. Do you know what I mean? But
Dude,
At the same time.
this is yours, man.
no, but like it was like 2 minutes, you know. But like, how do you run past that guy? It's insane.
That's wild.
That's what I'm trying to highlight. Is like you just run past him.
So it is honestly so selfish, because like they're just fixated on getting their goal and hitting their target, and it's like, dude, at the end of the day, what you can tell someone you ran like a 4-hour 20 marathon, but like, oh, you ran past some guy that collapsed, and like who knows what would have happened to him if you weren't there or somebody else hadn't stopped. Like, seriously, it's nuts that people do that. But yeah, in back to the trail running, it's like you should be in physical shape where you can actually help somebody. It's like, that's not your role and that's not your duty. Like, you don't have to do that, but as people, we have this innate desire to like care for others if someone's injured. So like, and knowing both you guys, that's something you would do. So again, like, that's just more physical prep, that's more motivation, more fuel to get you up out of bed, to focus on running, to make the sacrifices to hit the goal.
100%. Yeah, I'm very excited for it yet again. Like, I'm excited for the next thing. It does become a bit of an addiction. Like, especially not hitting what you wanted. Then it's even more like, I need to do this, rather than like, I just want to do this.
Did you find quite often people find that projecting goals and aspirations to others and voicing it to the world helps them, gives them fuel, gives them motivation to get out of bed and hit that target, knowing that you weren't telling every single person of your goal, but you were telling your friends, people closest to you, of what you wanted to hit.
Yeah.
Did you find that pressure helped at all? Like, obviously it didn't get the result, but did you find it was...
I think in my case, it was like I was telling people that hadn't even like a marathon wasn't even a thought in their mind. So for me being like, oh, I want to, you know, I want to run a sub 4 marathon, they're like, wow, like they're fixated on like the 42 kilometers, like, which is awesome. And that was like flashback to April. That was us. And like 42 doesn't get any smaller or less cool. But yeah, it was just like, so when I was telling them my time, it wasn't like someone who could be like, someone like you, for instance, who could be like, you know, like you're not going to run sub 350 because your training hasn't been adequate. Like, I'm just going to tell you that. I want to be wrong, but like I didn't have that, the VZ at my workplace or the VZ, you know, at home or whatever, who could give me that critical breakdown. It was just like, wow, that's so cool, which is sweet, but it's like...
But also peps you up, and it gives you a sense of security that you can fall into of like, oh, I'm doing a really cool thing. Like, I'm going to do really
I'm just baking cookies. So even if I don't hit my time, it's okay.
I think for me, I don't really do it for anyone else. So like, not really. Like, your question of telling people, did that like create a pressure? No, because if I didn't do it, like, it's not for them anyway. And if I did do it, it's not for them anyway. So no, not really. Like, actually, like pretty much nothing. Didn't really feel anything in terms of pressure. Because I feel like that kind of gets a bit unhealthy. Like, if you really get stuck in that. Yes, you can, healthy pressure is a thing, and like competitive pressure, sure. But when you're doing these things, like the endurance stuff, all that chitter chatter with other people, it goes out the door. Like, when you're in the shitter, like when you're in the gutter, you're doing it for you, and you can't be there doing it for someone else. That's ridiculous.
Exactly. There's not enough motivation and fuel to get you out of bed to do it for somebody else.
For someone else, never, and there never will be.
And I think like there's probably something to be said maybe when you're a parent and things like this. Like, you look at a lot like MMA fighters when they have a kid, like there's this just newfound fire in them, and doing it for family, I'm sure that could be a greater thing. But in terms of like in the moment, like for us, we, like, you guys have partners and stuff, but like the thought of them isn't helping you at like 34, 36k when you're in so much pain. It's like, no, this is for me.
The argument for the kid is like, that's like a part of you though. So I get why people have that, and I know I will have that eventually, but that's a part of you. So it's kind of like the investment in yourself is there because it is a part of you. But in terms of the partner thing, dude, I think we were talking about this. Yeah, we were actually. I think we were sitting waiting for the girls like to get the car, and I was like, holy shit, imagine doing this by yourself. Fuck that. Like, just like getting a taxi home. I'm just like, I'm so grateful for having just someone there. It makes it so much more enjoyable. Like,
It is.
because they enjoy it too.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to get something out of it because they see their other half doing something for themselves. Like, it's just so beneficial for everyone. And they'll be running the 10K next.
Yeah, which we're going to hold them to.
No, I'm holding siege to the 10K in Newcastle.
But like our partners, it's like the unsung heroes of the day. It's like you still came on a limb, slept on the floor, just to see Carl and I cross the line, which was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The sacrifice and that. But I think there has to be that pressure because like they're unaware of what doing a 10K is. Like, they see you guys run 42 and in their minds they're like, that's nuts, I could never do that. Maybe they're thinking that. Obviously they're capable.
Yes.
But it's like, no, you have to actually train for this 10K. You don't just show up and do it. And I think knowing that like you're both very close with your partner, see them all the time, the work that you guys are now going to put into your next event, hopefully is much more than this one. They're going to see that and be like, oh damn, it's actually commitment. Like, there's a lot of commitment involved to hit these targets.
Yeah. Even them just showing up for us, like, I don't even know. And even like Jess, like being there for you, like that does something for me, oddly enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, just seeing like someone else's partner there, it's just great. Just having a group.
It's like, it's the Brockman's parents of the world. Like, the aid stations, his missus, the aid stations in the ultra marathon, like the crew you take with you on the ultra marathon. Those are the real heroes of the day. Yeah. And
that's where everyone talks about individual sports and individual events. They always refer to them as team events ultimately, and they say, I couldn't have done this without this person or this. And it's like, that seems to be the shared mindset amongst you guys of, I couldn't have done this without them. Like, having them there just makes it so much easier and so much better.
Yeah. Like, I can't really see it without them. I know that's bad, but like,
No,
I
that
just-
it
I
makes
love that
sense.
aspect of it. Like I do it. Sorry, it's more like I could see myself doing it without like Siege, but having her there, I love that aspect of it. Like, and I do it for that, if that makes sense. So like, it would take something away from it if she wasn't there. It wouldn't be like what I want it to be, if that makes sense.
100%. It's like I know that like when I do like an international marathon, it's like I'm gonna take her with me.
Yeah, 100%.
A, for the like to be there and see me do it, but also and like support me, but also B, like just to travel
The
Yeah,
and
experience.
get around
it's
the experience,
of
the
it,
adventure.
100%.
Yeah.
And it does something for you. It being like a witness on the sideline, it lifts you up in a way of like, wow, anything is possible. I've grown up with this person. I've seen what they've come through, and now like seeing them accomplish this feat, it's like anyone can do it. And then there's also maybe it's that little kick in the butt you need of like, I am being like a bit of a pussy. Like I could step it up, and this guy's just showed me that I can do that. So I think as being a support, there's so much benefit in it for yourself.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I'm actually keen to watch someone do a race. I think I was saying to Siege, like, I want you to do a 10K and me just be like, I just want to switch roles, just to like support you, however, like whatever that is, of some sort. I'm keen to do that because I actually haven't done that ever. I don't think. I honestly don't think I've ever done that because most of the time I'm doing it with the people, like the half Ironman. I'm doing it with you, so it's like I'm not supporting you or like whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, like in terms of like an endurance sport, because obviously like you're there for like Siege's big moments as a support, but like it's like just talking
specifically in the endurance, like that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to share? Any highlights, any lows from the day? Any
The highlight
messages?
The highlight was just Jimmy for me getting it done. Like
That's so amazing.
I saw him and I was like, oh shit, like, you know, like giving him a hug and stuff like that, like afterwards. And then I had to go to like the runners thing, get the shirt and all that. And then like Siege rocked up and then I just sat down, just bawling. Just after I saw Jimmy, just bawling because I couldn't get out of my head. And I was like, he's just such a savage. I was like, I'm so impressed. Just not by his time, just like him just going through what he's going through and just like
Getting it done.
getting that done was just like
with the best.
amazing. I'm sure if he was here, I'd just be a wreck. Like I don't know. I just put a lot into that because I know like him and stuff. I don't want to talk about it too much, but he's just like
huge.
getting that done is so impressive. Like he's a hero of mine. Like it was really heroic what he did.
Yeah, seriously impressive.
And his mum was there too.
Wow.
Amazing. Like just fuck.
That's so
I
beautiful.
loved that aspect of it. It was really cool. It was really cool. But anything else, I'm just excited for the next one. I'm really excited to improve on like, yes, like I didn't hit the goal, but like, yeah, I don't know. I'm really like, I don't know. Like I just don't want to finish it and be my initial thing. Just be like, fuck. Like I just don't want that because I was happy, of course, but at the same time I was like,
Internally, you weren't.
yeah, like my initial reaction was just like, damn it, dude. And it flashes before you. You start thinking about like when you're on it, like in the last like 5, like you're reflecting. Like I know exactly. You can't lie to yourself in that moment. You know exactly what you could have done better.
And it's so easily justified in the moment of when it's like, oh, hey, want to go get some like Dirty Bird? Let's go eat KFC. It's like, that tiny voice in you is like, dude, it's not going to be good for the marathon. It's not going to be good for the sub 350. And you're like, yeah, let's do it. There's no immediate consequence.
Yeah.
It's just that initial guilt and shame. But the more you practice that, the better you get at pushing that down and not feeling it. So now that you have that feeling, that reference point, and there's more accountability now because like I'm someone that likes to hold people accountable. So I'm going to just light you boys up. If I see it.
Love it.
Where you at. And you guys have to do it for yourself, obviously.
100%. No, but it does help. Like I know we were talking about I was saying like I don't do it for anyone else under pressure, but having someone close to you checking you when you're making those decisions.
the spot checks. Yes, dude.
So I saw you message about that, but I already know stories about that. Like, because like Goggins will rock up and then Haynes is like, what are you doing here? He's like, spot check. Like,
Spot check.
spot checking. We were talking about it yesterday. We were talking about it yesterday. I was like, dude, I want to be spot checked more. I also want to be spot checked than spot check.
Yeah.
Like, I want to
100%.
be spot checked.
Get caught lacking, dude.
Just slacking, just mid feed, just like, oi.
You have no answers.
Yeah, there's nothing. This is I love the idea of that. But I am aware that I don't want to let that control me. Like I don't want to be a slave to the spot check.
You don't want to be in fear. You don't.
Yeah, I don't want it to be fear based. Yeah, definitely.
Because it's more giving clarity to what you truly want.
Mm.
I think having that reality of like, oh damn, this like eating at home was my sacred haven, but now that Kay is spot checking me there, it's like, oh, I need to understand that this is just actually what I want. Like I want to hit this goal, and a way in doing that is not eating this food. And I think it's knowing the motives, and just putting in the prep, man. Like it really is just about consistency and commitment. And
100%.
it's those two things are so hard to achieve. Like being consistent and committing to it, because commitment's every aspect of life, as we've mentioned. But again, that feeling of when you guys cross the finish line, like yes, you were happy, but internally, you let yourselves down. Like you
100%.
let yourselves down, and like I've done it to myself many times, and it sucks. It really does suck, but like that
It sucks more when it's weighted over time. Because like you said, you look back and you're thinking about all that time. Like there's so many days where you didn't get it right, rather than one day where you didn't get it right. Like it's not the day before prep. That's got nothing to do with, well, it does. But like it wasn't one day. It was multiple things. So it's just compounded just fuck ups where you just like, it weighs so much more.
And it's cool now as well because like next time comes around, you have this audio to listen to.
Wow.
To know. So like there are no excuses, and responsibility is all on ourselves. So in the next one, like however it goes, you can wear that.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
And I don't know. I see the fire in both you, and I just can't see either you running over 350 unless like something wild happens, you get injured or whatever.
After failing it at that, because the first one we had no time. Like this is the first one I've been like, this is the first just endurance thing I've been like, I have a time that I need to hit. And that was a different aspect. That's something we didn't really talk about. But yeah, like having that, I've never had that.
You guys didn't have that during
The half.
the half? It was just cross the line, which is still fucking awesome. But now that you've done it, it's like
You could do it better.
yeah. which is pretty cool to be at that level.
Yeah. No, and I am happy that I'm at the level now that I.
And like you said, it's just something you do, which is like so cool. But now we're gonna do a run.
Yeah. Okay, it's like cool. Like acknowledge the win is like now you're a runner, but like
You're not a great one.
Yeah, exactly. Like the little voice, like you're not a great runner though. Yeah, so it's like get better, 100%. Anything else you want to pull forward?
I think it's it. No one cares. Yeah, work harder. Like the event was sick, and I'm keen for the next one.
Me too, 100%.
That's beautiful. A challenge of the week.
Yeah.
What's your challenge?
Ooh. Maybe. I think this would be cool. I think we should spot check once at least. We'll see how we go. We should spot check each other this week coming.
Okay.
I like that.
Or maybe we set it like a 2-week thing, or
Yeah.
but some sort of time frame
recent period
where
of time, let's spot check.
we spot check each other.
In terms of scheduling, it might be like for us, it'll probably be easier. But like with you, we'll see. Yeah.
And to clarify for anyone listening, spot checking is basically rocking up to a friend unannounced, messaging them, rocking up to them physically, and just like calling them out and just checking them where they're at. It's like, dude, you're slacking, like get it done. Like Carl the other day, he walked into my room. We were at my house. He just walks in. He's like, spot check, like, is your room clean? And I was just like, oh, damn. I didn't even think about that.
And I was like, pretty good job.
Pretty good job.
That's gonna get me.
And you got to, I think with the spot check, it's not always about being negative. Like I like the idea of it being like, when something's actually good, like big it up. It's like, I spot checked you and you had it in check. Like, fuck yeah. Like, good job. You know what I mean? Like,
And the cool thing as well is just the idea of a spot check equates to all aspects in life. So Carl walking into my room and spot checking my room instantly was like, oh, my diet, my sleep, my work life, my relationships, all of it. I'm like analyzing everything. So just having someone like intentionally come in unannounced and be like, dude, what's up with this? Like, what's going on? It is so healthy. And again, there is that pressure, and it can become a negative thing when it's too often.
But it needs to be out of like, I want you to do better in this. Not like, and I feel like us three have that.
Not like I'm trying to catch you off guard.
Yes.
Ha ha. Like, you know.
Yeah, shame on you.
Yeah.
It's understanding. If I was to spot check Carl, there'd be so many areas where he lacks as well. So, and he knows that. It's not, I'm better than you, your room's filthy. It's, I want you to be better. I also want me to be better, and you want me to be better. So let's just do this to rise, to lift each other. Yeah, and I like the idea of that these challenges just being things that you just do. Like, they're not, like, you don't need to do it and tell the world. It's just
do it,
knuckle
yeah.
down, get it done during the week, and it's only going to benefit you.
Pays dividends.
It does. It really does.
It's funny, like, because you could be the guy that like gets spot checked on one day out of 365 days and has it right, but it's like, because you don't know when that's going to be, it's like you have to be consistent. You can't leave it up to luck, you know, which is exciting.
Because you're waiting for the spot check, and again, it's not out of fear of, oh my goodness, they're going to spot check me. You realize, like, after, I don't know, you have everything in check for a long period of time, then you're like, oh, this is so much better. There's more momentum. I just feel better having my life this way.
Yeah.
And then when the spot check comes, you're like,
And it's easy because, like, when the spot check does come, it's like, if I'm spot checking someone, I feel like I'm going to start to try and be like, how can I, if I spot check you and you're off, it's like, how can I give you something to help you? I don't know, rather than just being like, you suck, get better. It's like, can I offer you something? As in, like, let's do this, I'll do it with you, whatever it is.
let's clean the room now.
Say it's like, oh shit, you didn't prep. So have you got the ingredients yet? Let's just do it. We've got like 30 minutes. Let's just meal prep for you. Like, that's just sick. Just like, actually, yeah, or the room thing. It's like, let's clean it. Where do you want me to put this? Like, bang, washing, do that.
Start the momentum. Because sometimes that's all it takes is we all have these things we know that need to get done, whether it's cleaning a room and you're like, oh, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. All that means is it's down on the priority list. You have so many other things you'd rather be doing, but then having that friend just be like, dude, let's take that from 6th place, put it into 1st, let's just do it now, tick it off, then it's not even on the list because there's nothing to do.
And you remember that feeling next time as well. It's like, oh yeah, I can just do that. And then it's out of the way and you're like, you feel great. You remember that feeling the next time. Next time you want to push it down on the list, it's like, I can just do this.
That's a beautiful challenge. I love the spot check
I
challenge.
don't even want to think of another one because I
No, that's
really
perfect.
Like that.
Perfect. I'm keen. I'm ready for you guys.
It's awesome.
I hope I get called out though.
It's gonna be army chopper, dude. Like spotlight, like George Van Sweden, just naked in bed, like
It's like the classic shot of the window with the light shining through, like, like that, like that. SWAT team just barges in.
Move.
The sledge thing where you just like barge the door.
But it's you. You're the sledge.
Oh! And I'm through the door, like the shining, where he's like, here's Johnny. I'm like, here's Kev. Spot check.
I love it.
Yeah. Dude, I'm fucking keen for that. I'm very keen. And I'm keen for the next event. I'm excited to get into the world of like prep and really like delve into that.
Consistency.
Yeah, and if I suffer in terms of like, if the sacrifice actually ends up coming in the mental prep, I'm ready for that. Because I'm ready to relearn that skill too. If I put so much into the prep, I'm ready for that too. Like, I want to finish that next race knowing that I put a lot of effort in, more so not to get the 350, but to feel as good and perform as good as I could in that time. That's what I want. I don't even really want to finish in 350. I just want to do the best I could and know truthfully, like, I put in the best I could.
Yeah, because you know from this one, like you didn't.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Because that's the thing. It's not that I didn't hit 350, it's that I didn't hit my goal. So it's almost like the time is there just as like it's a thing to keep you in check and give you like a numerical way of like achieving a goal. But it's like, I didn't achieve my goal this time, and what I want to do next time is achieve my goal to the best of my ability.
Yeah, the idea of numbers is more so you have the number, and to achieve that number requires this commitment, this consistency, this hard work.
Like putting in the work.
Exactly, because you're not going to hit that number. Some people might just naturally hit that number because they're amazing athletes. But if, I don't know, you have you two and then like an amazing athlete who could do that without anything, like any training, any consistency, like by you two hitting that and him hitting that, you're going to get so much more out of that because you've actually set a goal that's so much harder for yourselves.
And on paper, you've done the same effort. On paper, like just looking at time, you've put in the same effort, but you know, because again, you're doing it for you, that you've actually put in as much as you could, and that's what really matters. Well, that's what I take from it.
No, definitely. So yeah, I'm keen to see. Thanks for coming on, and I love that challenge. Spot check. Anyone listening, just rock up to a friend's house, message a friend, and spot check them in areas that you know as well where they kind of lack maybe. Like Kyle knows that my room's generally quite messy. So the fact he walked in there and called me out on that.
What would you spot check me on? Oh shit, maybe I shouldn't ask you that. Well, think of it, because you can spot check me on multiple things. So it's give me your second thing.
Second thing? Or, okay, especially now, this is going to be a good thing. Spot check you on going to Pat's gym? Because I know since you've left fitness first, I don't know if you've been.
No, yeah.
So, and now that you don't have a Mara, like there's no excuse you could tell me of why you haven't gone to Pat's gym. So I'm gonna spot check you.
What's eats is I can use that to my advantage. Like I can use that with the sledding. That can link to the running too. Yeah.
100%. So
Eats.
show up to 3. Oh no. I was gonna say the dress.
Oh,
Say it.
no one's listening. It doesn't matter. Shame.
They're all listening.
Please listen to our podcast. No, do it.
Eats.
Seriously.
Thanks for coming on, bro. You're the first recurring guest. I don't know if we mentioned that.
No.
I did say reoccurring. I didn't say first though.
Yeah. Eats.
Futchy! No,
Peace.
Futch.
The Futch.
The Futch.
Go the Futch.
Go
It's
The Futch.
yeah.
What is it? Money Man out?
Money man out.
Love you all. Peace.
Oh yeah.
Love it.